Hey, welcome to my Thinkpad X230 review. I've had this guy for 4 months as my daily driver, and I'm going to give you my opinions on it. So first I'm going to talk about the specs, then screen, keyboard, ports, and battery. Then I'm going to give you, I'm going to share with you some of my experiences using it, and I'm going to tell you why I bought it, which is actually important. So, specs. This machine has an Intel Core i5 3320M. It has 8 gigs of memory and a 270 gig SSD, which is really good. It has integrated graphics, Intel 4K, which is not really meant for gaming, but it's perfectly fine for some light gaming and some media manipulation. So let's talk about first the screen. These laptops come with 2 types of screens, TN or IPS. The TN screen has really poor colors and viewing angles, so you should definitely try and get the IPS panel. So this is the IPS panel, and to give you an example like this, so if you had the screen like this, you can see what's on the screen. Maybe you can't read it, but you can see it. With the TN, you wouldn't be able to see it. So same here, same even here, right? So other people that might be on your side, above you, you're showing something to other people, they won't be able to see it. Or if you're watching a movie, and you have to constantly adjust the screen so you can actually see it. It's annoying. Get the IPS, much better. While we're talking about the screen is 1366 by 768 resolution. It's a 12.5 screen, so the resolution for the screen size is pretty good. For longer periods of working time, I have an external monitor. I work with code development and stuff like that, so it might get difficult after 2 to 3 hours to actually not have your eyes tired, working in terminals, small fonts, stuff like that. So I definitely recommend having an external monitor at your house if you work on something that needs a lot of reading and writing. Media, perfectly fine. The keyboard. This chiclet keyboard is awesome. Best chiclet keyboards are built by ThinkPads. And the only laptop keyboards that are better than this that I've tried are the older generation ThinkPad keyboards, like the X230. But these are awesome. Very, very good, very comfortable to type on, very tactile. It comes with 2 types of keyboards, backlit or non-backlit. This one is the backlit. It has 2 settings for brightness, so on, very on, and think light. This is the think light, which is useful when you have like papers. You're transcribing something from papers to your PC in a not so well lit environment. You have this, so it's actually cool. Okay, so closing it. Let's talk about the ports. Venting grill, VGA, USB, mini display port, USB, Wi-Fi switch, handy. And this is the express card slot, which is really cool. You can have desktop GPUs connected to here. It's a relatively cheap setup, and you can have lots of fun with that. This side, card reader, USB, Ethernet, microphone, headphone combo jack. This is the hardware caddy, which is only separated by 1 screw. Same with the RAM. 1 screw separates you from all of that, and like 3 screws separate you from the screen and the fan. So ThinkPads are really good in terms of serviceability. And then on the back, grills, AC adapter, and the battery. So let's talk about the battery. In this ThinkPad, models and most other ThinkPads, it comes with 3 kinds of battery. 3-cell, which is like 3 to 4 hours, and it sits flush with the laptop. Then the 6-cell, which is the one I have, which gives me 6 to 8 hours of battery life, which adds a little bit of height to the computer. So it sits at an angle, which is actually really good for typing. So that's a bonus. And then there's a 9-cell, which is like the 6-cell that has this height and then protrudes a little bit from the back. So you have to see if you really need that much battery life, because you're adding more weight to the laptop. So in terms of usability, I use it for code development and stuff like that. And I'm a student. I'm on my master's degree on computer science, and it's really good for students because it's very portable. The battery with the 6-cell lasts me a full day without having to bring the charger around. And the charger is small. If you have to bring the charger, it won't add that much weight. So there's that. It's really portable, fits everywhere, very light, 1.7 kilograms approximately with how I've configured it. So it's very comfortable to haul around during the day. What else? Let's see. So in terms of the track point, so ThinkPads usually come with the track point. It also has a trackpad, but the trackpad is bad. It's not really good. And if you have the opportunity to use a track point, you should use it. It's much more comfortable, not having to take your hands off your keyboard to actually move the mouse. You can just move it kind of this. It's much more comfortable. So there's that. Also, it has a webcam, 720p, it's enough for Skype. Also, the speakers on this are not really good for media consumption. The volume isn't very loud, and the bass is almost non-existent. So they're not really good for high-fidelity music or media. They're enough for Skype and some YouTube. So definitely get a nice pair of headphones or something like that to listen to your audio with quality. Okay, so why did I buy it? It's an older processor, but Intel hasn't really been giving too much of a bump on processors. This is enough for what I have, and really, usually people buy really high-powered machines for something that doesn't really require all that much power. This was a steal. This was like 200 euros. I'm on Europe. In America, it's much cheaper. I added 4 gigs of memory and an SSD from an older computer that I had. It's an awesome machine. Okay. Why did I buy it? This model. So ThinkPads, there's in this series, the X series, which are the more portables, there's X220, X230, and X240 and up. So the X220 is older, has older hardware, has an older graphics chip, and the screen is worse, but it has a better keyboard. And it has LibreBoot and all that. So if you're into free software, X230 loses the keyboard, but gains better screen and a better processor and a better graphics card. And then X240 and up, the X240 has a shit trackpad, a click pad, something like that. It's really shitty. And it gets from here on, they get ultra low voltage processors, which are 15 watt processors and are shit. This is an M processor, 25 watts, much better, much faster, and has dual channel RAM, The newer ones only have 1 channel of RAM, so there's that. Why did I buy it? These machines flood the market. When companies are renewing their computers, they sell the old ones at a very discounted price. And these business laptops flood the market with low prices, and you can get real good deals with them. This is an extremely good machine, and having it optimized, actually taking the time to optimize it, it's as fast as new machines. So definitely check them out. Okay, so that was my review. If you liked it, like, subscribe, all that. Suggestions, drop them in the comments. And if you want to listen to anything else about my experience with the ThinkPad, or if you want to hear me ramble on about ThinkPads, do drop a comment. So, thank you, and I'll see you soon.